Hi guys, welcome back on board of the Crypto Cruiser. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about Litecoin, what Litecoin is all about. We're going to talk some fundamentals. We're going to talk some chart analysis, Litecoin compared to the dollar and Litecoin compared to the Bitcoin chart. We're going to talk some traditional markets such as S&P 500, where they're heading in the immediate short term this week, some potential price targets. And of course, let's just start with the Bitcoin chart and where potentially it's going. So let's get started, guys. So this is the Bitcoin chart here, and as I've said, in my personal opinion, anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes, and before you do anything, do it diligently, make your own research. In my personal opinion, we are heading for 82,000. Why? Because that was a huge resistance line that we've tested in April of 2021 and November of 2021 at price of around 64 and 69,000. Then we had another test in the beginning of this year in March of 2024, price of around 73,000, and we actually managed to snap above it, to go above it. And this whole November, last month, from 66,000 we went all the way to 100,000. So I had two scenarios, either to go to 109,000 and then test this resistance line, previously resistance line. Hopefully now we turn into support at price of around 82,000, or the correction has already started. My personal opinion, the correction has already started, and we're heading for a price of around 82,000. Then potentially we can find support into this previous yearly resistance line, and then we're going to have more continuation of the trend and start hitting potentially prices above 110,000 by the end of this, the year, or early next one by end of January of 2025. I'm not going to be surprised at all if we test price of above 110,000. And then potentially we can have a huge correction, but let's just take one trade at a time and see how this thing is going to play out. I mean, if you've been following my channel, I've been nailing almost every single move for Bitcoin. From 70,000, I nailed this one going down to prices below 49,000. Then the local top at 65,000, local bottom at 52,000. So below 50,000, from 70 to below 50,000. How did I know that? Because I'm following the S&P 500 as well, and it's you can clearly see here we had an ABC correction, and I told you back then, this is just going to be a correction, ABC, a regular one, nothing extraordinary, nothing that I haven't seen before. And I anticipate a huge bounce, a V-shaped recovery. I think my very first video was a V-shaped recovery, so you can turn it back and you see everything is there. We almost start hitting all-time high prices of around 5,650. And then I've told you it will be healthy for the overall trend to actually come back to this previous resistance line. We turn it into support, and then we're going to have more continuation of the trend and potentially hit price of above 6,000. From that moment on, I anticipate to come down to this previous local top at a price of around 5,850. We turn that into support, and then we have more continuation of the trend. And in the process, we formed a reverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish signal, of course, bullish chart pattern. Measure from the head to the bottom, the price target should be above 6,250, and that's what I'm anticipating to go by again, probably next year, above 6,250, and potentially even test this resistance line. But let's just take one trade at a time. I don't think there's any reason for you to panic. My personal opinion, of course. This is not a financial advice. S&P 500 looks extremely bullish. I gave you some price targets. Bitcoin as well looks bullish, and some of the altcoins already started outperforming Bitcoin the way I've told you it will once Bitcoin start hitting all-time high. And Litecoin is one of those coins. I'm not surprised at all that Litecoin is performing so well. So let's just talk about Litecoin, and let's just look at the market capitalization chart and where we are at the moment. So as I can clearly see, these local tops will already snap above it. And at the time of recording this video, we're almost at 10 billion market capitalization. All-time high is around 25, so 2.5x. I think potentially we can do something like that. And let's see how exactly it's going to play out. But the Litecoin looks extremely bullish. Not only that, but the circulating supply is 75 million. So in order for Litecoin to go at price of around $1,000, we need 70. So basically, 75 billion market capitalization. I don't think that's. I mean, of course, it's a huge market capitalization, but we have to look at it. If history is any indicator, like Dogecoin, what it did in 2021, from prices of went over 100 billion market capitalization, which was over 4 years, over 4 years, almost 4 years ago. And I anticipate this bull cycle to actually be bigger than the one in 2021. So Litecoin can potentially do that. It can potentially hit $1,000 mark for one AOTC. I'm not going to be surprised at all. I mean, what Litecoin is all about? Litecoin, if you compare it to the metals, is like silver. I just say Bitcoin is the gold standard, and Litecoin is the silver one. And as in the metal markets, silver is very much undervalued. And my personal opinion, Litecoin is also very much undervalued. It's a very popular coin. Every bull cycle, we're hitting an all-time high, and we're setting up a higher low in the bear market. So it's extremely bullish. Let's just talk about the chart analysis, LTC compared to the USD. And this is something that potentially can play out. As I've said, we've already taken out this local top in July of 2023 at price of around $115. We already basically we broke out of this huge almost yearly resistance line we test here in March in 2024 as well. At price of around $110 in April of 2024, at price of around $113. We snap above it, and right now we're at price of around $130. So I'm not going to be surprised if in the immediate short term we go prices of above $200 and potentially start testing prices of almost $300. Perhaps we're going to consolidate a little bit. We'll correct from 300. Let's say we can drop to like 170, 160, have a huge correction, and that's how we can form like a huge reverse head and shoulders. And we can potentially go test this upper trend line that we've tested in December of 2017, price of around $370, and we've tested it in May of 2021, price of around $430. If potentially we can do that by Q2 of next year at prices of above $460. Of course, since we've tested it a few times, the highly likelihood is to actually break out on the upside. Let's say we go above 460 to 470, potentially 480. We come back, we test this previous yearly resistance line, we turn it to support, and then we can have more continuation of the trend and potentially hit prices of above $1,000. I'm not going to be surprised at all if something like that plays out. I mean, you just have to see from here from February of 2017 to December of 2017, that was a massive move. Litecoin from $4 went all the way to 375. Here from the bottom at March of 2020, when COVID happens, the price were around $25. We went to 413. And yeah, something like that potentially can play out. And as you can, let me just show you this chart pattern that it's a huge follow wedge. Then we are breaking out of it. We can pretty much go 10x from what it is. Another confirmation that we can go above $1,000. Something like that can potentially play out. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you all for the lovely comments. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. And if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, that'll be much appreciated. Once again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.